Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? Where are you watching from? Hey, Matt, how are you, bud? How are you? This is a big job here. This is a house, and we got 14 locks on this house. And of those 14, three of the screen doors they have on there are the old 80s screen doors. So they're just the frame with that little flip handle thing, so you can't even rekey those. But typically in this area, those have a doorknob and a double deadbolt. So you would add another 9 locks to this house, to this 14 type of thing. So yeah, just finished a 14 lock key on the house. Okay. Well, hey, what's up there, organic? How are you, Mr. Handsome? I got that face made for radio, right? You know it. You know it. So Matt, on that job right there, how do you charge? You charge them a service call then per cylinder? What what's that run a customer? Oh, they were smart keys. Okay, with the working key, and I find for whatever reason I find a lot of times that those those friggin' smart locks won't take a new key. It's like I don't get it. They won't take a new key. I get that a lot, more often than I want. Not sure why. But it's a quick set. So let's get these going. It almost looks like the Titan body, right? But it doesn't have that clip in there. Almost like the Titan body. Okay, God, that seems really low. Okay, but that's obviously you're right in the wheelhouse for your area. Like even out here, we can charge 139 for the first 5 locks, and then $20 for each additional lock. Bigger city, right? You're in one of the lowest income countries in California, in the low income counties. Yeah, that does make it tough. I gotta say that when I first started, I was really low. I was really really low, and I would get people sometimes, not very often, that would complain. Like for a vehicle lockout or a house lockout, $60. What do you mean $60? And I had another locksmith buddy who was charging, double that, 125. Do you not have issues? My people are freaking out at $60. How are you getting that by him? He says you got to raise your prices. And I was like, what are you talking about? My people are shit in the bed now. And he says if you raise your prices, you work yourself right out of those people that are just you know what I'm talking about. You just work yourself out of those people. the bargain shopping, the blah blah blah. So I didn't buy it. I didn't buy into it for a while, But about 6 months later, I thought, okay, what the hell? I'm gonna just on the next call, I'm gonna to to $100. If they like it, they like it. If they don't, well, they don't. And I kind of took that ground, and whammo, I found out that there was no difference. There was no there was there was less of the what do you mean $100? I definitely got a lot more of okay, well, how long will it take you to get here? And I thought, all right, maybe he's on to something. Yeah, maybe he's on to something. So I did just that, and I have since moved it 2 more times, and yeah, still no big pushback at all, no big pushback. So I'm definitely way higher than when I started, but not as high as some others out in the neighborhood, I'm thinking. But anyway, so yeah, it sounds. Why is this? Oh, that makes sense. That's why nothing was fitting. Had the wrong key. So it doesn't sound like it would do anything, but he was right. It it knocked those that it knocked that them people right out of my phone calls. So, and you probably already know that. It just doesn't. Sometimes it just doesn't make sense of how would higher prices create less havoc. Hey, I've been working really hard on my locksmithblueprint.com, and I have taken a totally different turn, right, than what it is right now. Way too aggressive right now. Totally different turn. So here in the next month or two, we should be done enough and it's going to be a whole different look. Hey, what's up there, Joe? What are you doing today? I got me a Rekey here with 14 locks. Put a little Wiener slide in here. What's up there, Key? How you guys doing today? I got this old 1970s house has just a shit ton of doors on it. We got 14 locks. 14 biggins. Let's get some of these deadbolts out of the way while we're here. You guys okay with this view, or do you want the down view? Because I know a lot of times I'm covering it with my mitts. I'm covering it. Is everybody staying busy today? How you guys doing? Hey, thank you very much for the likes. If you guys would, you new people coming through, I appreciate you stopping in. Give us a follow, subscribe, join us here. Let me find the spring. There we go. If I could get you guys to subscribe, follow me. I like to post these live videos Monday through Friday if I can, when I can. So what's everybody up to today? We got busy days out there in the field. So do you guys spray the Wiener slide in there before you take it apart or after you take it apart and repin it? Got one that's just a tiny bit. Fix your garage door lock today. It quit working. It's hot today, yeah. Where you at, Joe? Where you at that it's hot? Not so bad here right now. It's only 102 right now here. I don't think today. I think today's only getting up to 107, I think. So when you get one of those keys, right, you've made multiple keys and you're running through them and they work, and you get one that sticks and you snap it. Do you snap it through or do you just replace the key? What do you guys do? Do you snap the key so it works? And when I say snap, I don't mean break. You know what I'm talking about. Minnesota, okay. Man, bunch of stuff in the news about Minnesota right now, huh? Or not right now, but last few months for whatever reason. I'm going crazy over there on you guys. All right. And these are old school Wisers. Look at these. These actually go through the door. Each side has a screw. You like Arizona, right? It is. It's a dry heat, right? They say it's a dry heat, but man, 120 is 120, right? But so you talk about the humidity. We're not made for humidity, right? So we just started our monsoon season, and we only get about six and a half inches of rain a year. Not very much at all, and we get it all. We got two usually winter storms that come through and give us a good amount of rain, and then we got our monsoon, which is like a month and a half period where we'll start getting a little activity, and that's where we get the rest of our rain. So other than that, we have we have more than 300 sunny days a year here, so it doesn't rain very much. But it's here now, so the monsoon's coming. So humidity wise, what I was going to say is when this starts getting 30 or 40%, you watch us locals, man, we're dropping like flies. It's like that's a whole nother level. 50, 60%, that's a whole nother level. Not in my pay grade. Whereas in you guys do, 100% and 90% and yeah, too much. Too much. Yeah, and that's why so let me ask you guys this. Hey, how you doing? How you doing, Native? Hey, make sure to subscribe and follow me. I'm out here in Phoenix as well. So I'm pinning up. I'm on the resident on the house right now doing some locks. Man, I forgot the question I was going to ask you. Well, I forgot the question. It sounded important at the time. Went right through my brain. Works like a champ. Yeah, and isn't that crazy that one of the screws are on the outside, one's on the inside? Man, I forgot what I was going to ask you, the locksmith. So how you doing, native? Whereabouts are you? You're here in the valley? Or are you up the hill? I had another locksmith. He would spray the back. Do you guys spray that back there or no? Do you just leave it? It's really badly stuck. The key still works. It just looks janky. What looks janky? What are you talking about? And I have to on these old risers right now. I have to use a quick set key blank. I got to use a KW1 because the other locks on the house are quick set. So you got no choice on those. That being said, I should have. Oh, there they are. Yeah. So you can't put a. So I get that question sometimes. Why do I use the quick set key on a wiser lock? Right. So for those of you who don't know, here's the wiser deadbolt. Here's the wiser key. Works perfect. Here is the wiser key with a quick set. This is why I use a quick set key and not a wiser key, because I don't want to make two separate keys for their house. So that's where we're at on that one. And these old wiser locks you can't replace on the doors because they got 3 3/4 inch back set, so they don't even have the standard back set, which is a nightmare for this area because there's really no fix. All right, sorry guys. Okay, when it pauses like that, when the video. Oh, new plastic cap. Plastic cap on these. These things are 50 years old and they're still working perfect, which is shocking. That is shocking. So as far as spraying these guys, the guy above. Oh, his ignition. Okay. Oh, I didn't see that. Sorry. Sorry, I didn't even see any of that up there. Needed to replace my ignition cylinder for an '03 Silverado. Someone broke the plastic cover on it. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Gotcha, gotcha. Now I see what you're talking about. Might be a junkyard part for you. You're talking a little cowling on there. All right. This one's not going to be very happy. This thing is so, and look at the material it's made of. Look at it. It's all green, like brass or copper or something, you know? Works like a champ. Hey guys, and if the video pauses, that just means the phone rings. I'll be right back. So don't take off running. I'll be right back when that phone when it pauses like that. And if you guys would go visit locksmithblueprint.com. Make sure to subscribe here. Give me a follow. I post these videos constantly, these live videos, and I'd love to have you guys come and hang out with us. We got some pretty cool people that come in and visit us. There's a bunch of other locksmiths in here as well. So the cool news is you guys will have access to a bunch of different locksmiths. Not that my guy is just hanging out outside. Hopefully he's not locked up. Oh, he's looking. Hang on a second. He might be struggling. Hang on a second. Are you struggling to get phone service? Or are you looking for me? Oh, trying to get phone service?
Trying to get Spencer's appliances.
Gotcha. Do you got cell service?
I had their number. And I hit the wrong one.
Gotcha. So you have cell service here, or you don't?
I do.
Okay. Really bad.
But right now I'm on Xfinity. I got it when I get Cox. I will change over.
Gotcha. So you have a modem in there for it? Because I got Starlink right now in my dash. So if you need...
I don't have a modem or anything. I have to wait until my furniture gets.
So you can connect to my Starlink right now if you want. That has internet on it.
No, it has internet. It just doesn't want to bring up the phone website. Can't be reached.
Gotcha. Okay.
Well,
just trying to. No, that's okay. But that's why I got Starlink, is because a lot of the areas I'm in here have terrible service.
Oh,
so that's
I apologize for interrupting yours.
No worries. Nope. I'm just gonna keep on.
I like your neat van.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I got a whole bunch. It's a mess right now, but you know, there's a bunch of.
Well, the thing is, as long as it takes care of what you need.
I got big AC in there, big AC up here, so.
Yeah, anyway, I apologize.
Good to go. I'll keep on working so I can get you out of here.
You're fine.
All right, buddy. And then, again, it'll give you phone service. Okay. So a customer just moved in here, and they're having outside. They're having trouble connecting and blah blah blah. Hey, what's up there, Chris? What's up there? Yeah, see, we got some resources right here. And for those of you who are new, if you would like the video, double tap the screen. Make sure to subscribe and follow me. Please, please, please. Please, please, please. And like I said, those of you who are not locksmiths, we got quite a few locksmiths that come in here and swing through and say hi. So if you have any locksmith questions or any questions in general, if I don't read them, which happens at times, if I don't read them, then one of these other awesome locksmiths will jump in and help you out a little bit. So. Not very many places can you go and have access to, 5, 6, 7, 8 different locksmiths, you know? and they're from all over the country, which makes it even cooler. And for those of you who just showing up, I got 14 locks on this house, and we are 5 down. That any better view, I hope, maybe? Very important to get this little spring in here. You lose that little spring right there and you're in trouble. Yeah, we're going to have to get a little group together or something, huh, guys? That'd be kind of fun. Hey, so let me ask you guys this. Okay, so the locksmith blueprint, right? So what I initially started that page off as, and right now it's kind of all a mess, right? Because I've totally pivoted a whole different way. So I initially started that page because I got people asking me all the time, how do you become a locksmith? How do you do this? How do you do that? So I started focusing on how to start your own locksmith company, right? So I could showing people, uh, end up doing 6 or 7 people, I've gone through, but how to start up their own locksmith company anywhere in the country. And then I have state specific information for everybody, no matter what state you're in. And I got it where it nails it down to your state and what exactly it takes. And I tell you to, instead of focusing on people who want to become a locksmith or start their own business, that's kind of a smaller field. I got to think of the people that I see every day here, people I see on TikTok. How did you become a locksmith? How do you do that? How do you pick a lock? How do you this? How do you that? I started, so I've been working with a deal here, and decided that instead of focusing on that guy at the top of the chain that's ready to start his company, that I wanted to, let's go down to the bottom of the chain on people like this, like, hey, what are you doing? How do you do it? What do you do? Most people have no idea what involves here. So I've started tailoring the locksmith blueprint .com over to this new how-to and how locks work and locks made simple and that type of stuff, kind of focusing on, right, everybody down here at the bottom, all the DIYers, all the people who want to do it themselves or can, how to install, how to cut in a double in those fields. I'm wondering, because I'm going to be expanding, right, and this is going to be an evolving, we're constantly pivoting, right, because we get working on something else pops up and it's like, hey, let's do this. What content do you think, what do you think is the most, what do you think is the number one important thing that a brand new person in the locksmith world should know? The first task. What do you think coming right out of the deal? Because I got videos, how to repin, how to do this stuff we're doing, right? And people can do it, right? Once you learn what the shear line is, once you learn how a key works, what it does, once you learn the concept of how a key actually works, that's going to help you pick a lock. That's going to help you rekey a lock, right? So starting off, what do you think is the most critical thing that a very brand new person could learn or should learn? What's the first thing they should learn? Because what I'm doing right now is I got the about me portion in there. I got kind of what we're going to try and accomplish and who we're targeting to help. I then have I show some locks and some different stuff, some shear line work and some different things. But then, if anybody's interested, I then move. I have option that they can purchase a practice lock, right? So we can get somebody like y'all, hands-on work, actually getting you to pick a padlock, right? And then once they learn how to pick that padlock, some people might stop right there and say, "Oh, okay, I got it." Other people might be, "Hey, wait a minute." They're gonna pick that, then they're gonna try and pick their door. They're gonna try it. It might open up some curiosity of, "Hey, wait a minute. How does this work?" Because you know that feeling when you pick your first lock. Matter of fact, that's the same feeling you get every single time you pick a lock. It's like, yes, you know. And then coming out of the picking a padlock, my next session will walk into rekeying. How another something that I would send to them or they would purchase. But prior to learning how to repin a doorknob, I think the most important part is you have to know how to shim a lock, right? Because if you repin that doorknob and you lock it up and you don't know how to shim, you're screwed. You might as well throw the lock away, right? Because there's nothing you can do. So the recovery of that is a shimming or leashy, right? The bottom being the shim, the upper being the leashy. So, yeah. So tell me what your guys' thoughts are. What do you think would be a good progression? Starting somebody from right here on YouTube saying, "Hey, what are you doing? How can I do something like that?" And yes, AZ, it is more cost effective to have the locks rekeyed other than replacing. Yes, so it's yeah, it's much cheaper, and typically like somebody like yourself. Not saying you don't know how to do it, but I get calls from handyman constantly, or if not the handyman, the homeowner saying, "Hey, I have a handyman do some work. They installed a bunch of locks, but they're all different keys." So if you don't know how to rekey, then what's happening is you're paying money to buy new hardware and paying money to rekey, right? As opposed to keeping the hardware you have, we just come in and rekey. That way the old locks don't work. So kind of I typically don't push buying new locks, although there's times, right? And look at these. Look how old these are. These are 50 years old, right? In this particular scenario, we can't replace them because the back set is 1 inch bigger than today. But generally speaking, so yeah, I would typically almost always say just rekey it. That's all you need. Yeah, recovery of the log, right? And that's going to be critical. That's going to be 100% critical because we can now sell. We'll sell. What I'll do is I'll offer a doorknob. Doorknob first. Offer a door after they do a padlock, and they choose their own path, right? If they're like, "Hey, well, that's pretty cool. I think I can do something else," and they decide that they want to go the doorknob route, right? Then we give them the tools to do that. Give them a basic beginner, uh, basic beginner set. Give them some tweezers, a couple pins, a couple springs, a plug follower, blah blah blah, so they can go do that. But like I said, if they lock it up, you have to know how to shim. 100%. You have to know how to shim. That's equivalent to being a pitcher in baseball, but not knowing how to catch a ball. Right? What are you going to do? You're going to throw the first pitch, and then you're screwed after that because now you don't know how to catch a ball to pitch again, right? So that's the scenario they would run into. But so I got thinking of this whole blueprint, right? It's starting to evolve, and it keeps switching, pivoting, which is really cool. So something I thought initially was going to be, we can get 3 or 4 days, we can get something made, and 2 or 3 days, blah blah blah. I'm now about 6 months into. I'm more than 1,000 hours into this thing, but it keeps changing. And now last night we've had another really big breakthrough, another pivot. But it's so the stuff that we have on there right now is nothing like what is coming out. It's going to be an entirely, although what you see on there now will be deep in there. It won't be the main focus anymore. So So I'm just curious now, what do you guys think the progression should be when somebody brand new has never touched a lock, has never, they're just watching some guy right now on YouTube or TikTok, right? I got 60,000 followers on TikTok. So they might be watching on either platform. What do you think the progression should be to start? Yeah, for at least yeah, Chris, and that's exactly right. Uh, yeah, if you're a handyman, right? So my system is going to be perfect for you. My locksmithblueprint.com, that system is going to be perfect for you. But let me get it moving a little bit. And yeah, that you are, you know, not you specifically, but your trade and people who like to do it themselves, that's exactly what this program I'm making, exactly who it's for. It's exactly who it's for. But what do you guys think the progression should be? I don't want to teach a theory and all this, you know, and the whole books, and nobody wants to read just miles of programming, you know, or just miles of shit. You know what I mean? Nobody wants that. So that's what I want to try to erase, is just book of everything, you know. But that being said, I think picking that little padlock, that little trainer lock, will be awesome because again, you get that very first feeling that you pick your very first lock, and you are like, oh, I did it. Hey guys, thanks for swinging through. Thanks for coming by here. I'm a locksmith in Arizona. I'm out here actually on a residential job right now. We got 14 locks on this. We got some really, really old Wiser locks. These are 50 years old. 50 years old on these locks.